Before we go any further, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The details ahead are not only intense, they reveal the unraveling of an entire empire. This video is for awareness, education, and discussion only. When the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs began, the eyes of the world turned to a courtroom that promised to expose more than just one man. What started as shocking testimony from Cassie Ventura has now triggered an avalanche of celebrities, secrets, and silence set to break. And as week 2 of the trial approaches, prosecutors hint, what we've seen so far is just the beginning. The story isn't just about what Diddy might have done. It's about who stood by in silence and who could be pulled in next. The opening week lit a match under Diddy's legacy. Cassie, once a rising artist under Combs, testified to a life of intimidation, manipulation, and abuse hidden behind glamorous parties and luxury. Once, her words painted a world fueled by power, one where freak-off parties, drugs, and surveillance weren't the exception, they were the operating code. In gripping detail, Cassie described being drugged, recorded without consent, even forced into encounters she never agreed to, all under Diddy's alleged command. Her most harrowing moment, recounting the night she was chased down a hotel corridor, a scene now preserved in viral security footage. But just as the court and the world caught its breath, Kevin Hart arrived unannounced and shattered the silence with an admission that sent shockwaves through the packed gallery. We laughed in rooms we should have run from, because silence is the currency that keeps the powerful protected. But Diddy's defense was quick to strike back, presenting messages and footage to raise questions about what Hart knew and when. Yet something had shifted. This trial wasn't just about direct allegations. It was turning into an excavation of Hollywood's culture of complicity. As testimonies continued, a list of names, each bigger than the last, began to emerge. Some, like Kanye West, Kid Cudi, Britney Spears, Michael B. Jordan, and even Prince, were drawn into the proceedings not as accused, but as witnesses to a world built around Diddy's influence. Prosecutors and defense both dropped these names into strategic moments, forcing jurors and the public to question how deep this system of silence ran. When the court asked potential jurors about their feelings toward Kanye, it wasn't because he was on trial, but because his proximity to Diddy could cloud impartiality. Take Prince. Cassie recounted receiving a once-in-a-lifetime invitation to perform at his house. A moment of artistic freedom, she said Diddy nearly destroyed out of jealousy. Or Kid Cudi, when Cassie revealed that Diddy once threatened to blow that Mother Wee's car up over her involvement with him, it was chilling. At the time it sounded like bluster, until months later, Cudi's car really did burst into flames. No proof has directly linked Diddy, but now, under oath, that detail has the ring of more than coincidence. Jury selection became a puzzle of its own. How does one find anyone untouched by Diddy's myth? He shaped 90s and 2000s hip-hop, launched moguls, and mingled with legends. The star power in this trial isn't just physical, it's psychological. As testimonies rolled in, more icons entered the narrative. Michael B. Jordan, Bruce Willis, Eddie Murphy, known one. Accused but all dragged in as reference points, as reflections of Diddy's far-reaching relationships. And for the defense, comparisons to paint Cassie with envy or ulterior motive. The court quickly realized this was no ordinary trial. Each name introduced in the courtroom became the next day's headlines, with the jury asked to parse fact from the aura of fame. But the implications reach further. Former Danity Kane member Aubrey O'Day spoke out, calling Diddy soulless and highlighting abusive, manipulative conditions behind the scenes. Her account is no longer just a whisper among pop fans. Even more dramatically, Don Richard joined a civil suit against Diddy, bringing direct allegations of abuse he claims to have witnessed firsthand. These weren't distant observers. They were Diddy's own artists, now potential witnesses to a pattern spanning decades. And with legal insiders speculating that both women could be called to testify in court, the story risks turning from a single accuser case into a chorus of voices, one that could unravel much more than a music career. Then came perhaps the most personal turn. After the dramatic March 2024 raid on Diddy's mansion, his sons Christian and Justin were detained. Christian is now named in a sexual assault lawsuit tied to a private yacht party, an event Diddy allegedly secured. Investigators are now asking, did Diddy merely provide opportunity, or did he also enable, or even cover up, criminal acts within his own inner circle? Communications between Diddy and his sons around private events are reportedly under federal scrutiny, and with the possibility of subpoenas hanging over their heads, what they reveal may determine the direction and scope of the entire case. With week 2 looming, court insiders say new subpoenas are imminent, and digital evidence pulled from Diddy's elaborate properties, some prosecutors allege, built with secret tunnels for privacy, might soon be unveiled. Rumors point to hard drives, NDA-stuffed vaults, and guest lists implicating not just musicians, but influencers, executives, and the figures who ran interference for Diddy's world. What began as Cassie's fight is now a legal battle that could change how power operates in all of celebrity culture. As this trial unfolds, more names may fall, and more secrets may shatter. We may be witnessing the collapse of a system that protected the rich and famous at any cost. But what do you think? Does the widening scope mean true justice is coming? Or will it only expose how deeply connected and protected the powerful truly are? Leave your thoughts below. If you want to stay up to date on every bombshell and every turn in this history-making trial, subscribe, hit the bell, and join the conversation.